10:01 on the dot. Okay, let me get you up here. Alright, I got that other action going. Got this going. Oh, not currently available for mobile viewing. What? You can see it on your phone, right?
Are you live now?
Yeah, we're live. Oh yeah, here's viewers. Chat only mode for... Oh, you know what? I'm totally cool with this. This is fine. Welcome to the chat room. Hi. Hi, Josh. Josh is like regular, man. You're my fucking hero.
We got viewers.
Yeah. They all work with me, but at least they're enjoying it. Hold on, let me sort of get set up here. All right. Chat about this channel. I like to chat about Coffee with Cross.
There we go.
Yeah.
I am in with the chat. As I'm watching a montage of the 7 most brutal fatalities from Mortal Kombat games.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I wasn't really a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but I'm kind of into it. I kind of can't wait.
The new one looks great.
Hold on, I wanted to see what this thing is. I always look at the asset store first thing. Mostly it's window shopping, but it also gets my brain sort of in a mode of like, oh, I could use that, or I could use this. Right? Like, oh, that looks great. And I add stuff to my wish list because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Oh, object motion tracker. Look at that. I could use that. We don't need it for 3 doors, but, task in hand. Because it'll tell you, it looks like it tells you exactly where things are at all times. Waypoint data, where it's been. Okay. Okay. All right. Who else do we got in here? We got someone else. Oh. Mint. All right. So let's get started. Where are we? Oh, where we were was I was testing a Unity asset. I'll show you that in a couple of episodes.
Can you share your screen?
Yes. Hold on a second. Thank God you're here to remind me about shit like this. Window. Share screen. Yep. Okay. There we go. We'll put you at the top here so that I can see.
There we go.
All right. So I was looking at. You can see up here. I've got a scene called Facebricker, or a project called Facebricker. I was looking at starting to build something else that I've got an idea for, but I'll save that. Let me just open a different project. Open project. Twitch example project. Let's open that up. Okay, it's gonna go for a second. I'll fire up Photoshop just in case we need it. We got keynotes. Let's review this real quick. So here we go. Are we on track? We got 3 doors. We don't have results yet, but we do have them changing colors randomly. So we now have some scripting examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
Move it back up here. Oh yeah, and this was my example of how to use Uscript, right? That was my whiteboard.
Mm-hmm.
I want to move this down and can I change the background? Yeah, I'll just do this for myself with just so I know that this is the whiteboard one. Yep. That's great. Thank you, Uscript. Okay, just so I know that this is my whiteboard screen that I can go back to, and I can see it. Anyway, yes, thank you, Uscript. That's fantastic. Awesome. Keep chugging along. What it's telling me is whatever Uscript I have loaded is not the one for this scene, right? It's associated with another scene. That doesn't mean it won't work, but it's just saying that it doesn't like
Is that from the project you had just closed?
Yes. No, I don't know. I have to look. No, it's basically because I came into a blank scene instead of the store test scene. Because I just reloaded it. Okay, let's play it and see how it looks. So right now, what's going on is it's actually just taking a left click anywhere. It's not filtering for click on a door. Right? And in fact, I think this is a great time for us to segue into kind of a larger lesson on Uscript here. I could do this. Let's see, input event. This is, what's this, spacebar down was working for those other doors. This was input event, mouse click door. See how this kind of helps as far as like I'm able to read it even after a week, right? So okay, mouse click on this door, it isn't filtering anymore. It's just saying when there's a mouse click. So I can actually ditch this. Well, let me see actually. Let's go back to Uscript. Let's double check. Mouse click door is door 1. But what's actually happening is any click anywhere, right, is triggering this, right?
Right.
So if you look at this, what's actually happening is I've attached this event to this door, but that doesn't mean that it's filtering it out, right? Because I'm not actually detecting the collision. It's just an input event that door is listening for, right? Not when this door is clicked. So actually what I can do is we're going to delete this because this will work with the generic Uscript. So I can listen to a mouse click anywhere. Let's save that so I can show you how that works. Did you have your coffee this morning?
I did.
I am halfway to tanked up. Okay, let me move this over. Okay, so now let's play it. So basically what I've got is a mouse click anywhere that will move that door, right? And you notice...
Degrees, right?
Say what?
45 or 15 degrees, wherever you have it.
Yeah, let's look at the Uscript, right? It's moving 45 degrees in 1/4 of a second. So that's not the place where we're going to filter the event chain, right? So let's say input filter when the mouse is held down. And I think what we need to do is find an event like physics event. Nope, that's not what I want. Action. Sorry, I know where these are. I just go around and find these things. So what I want you to get from this at some point is that not necessarily where things are in Uscript or Unity. I want you to kind of learn from this how to teach yourself, right? Because there's no way to contain everything in your head until you've done like thousands of hours of working in Unity, right? Like there's just way too much to memorize. Even if you just go through all the different actions that you can do on variables and then think about this as, what if you didn't even have Uscript and you were scripting this from your brain, right?
Yeah.
It takes a long time. It's learning a new language, literally. It's like learning Spanish. You have to practice, right? And then at some point, you start to learn phrases that work for you all the time, or sort of with modifications. And then when you go to learn a new thing, you shouldn't feel daunted by learning that new thing. You should be able to have the resources to look it up in your translation dictionary, right?
Right.
Talk to a native speaker, right? Or, you know, and trial and error, right? So, like, I kind of want to show you the thought process that I take in trial and error so that you understand how to fish for yourself, right? So that, you know, next week you're like, oh, shit, Cross got hit by a bus. How am I going to continue to do this, right?
Let's not wish that.
Well, let's not, but it's my hit by a bus plan, right? Like, you always have to sort of take that contingency into it. Okay.
I'd rather learn how to fish.
You say what?
I'd rather learn how to fish.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to fish. Okay, so what we're doing now is when the mouse is clicked, right? That's this one. Let's see, that's as close as I can get zoom-wise, so you can't, I don't know if you can read it. But input event filter, when mouse 0, input down, Raycast. So this means that I'm going to project an invisible line from where the mouse is on screen, right, into the scene. So directly away from, if you can imagine like a 3D box, like the ray is going to go through the world, right?
Okay.
And then it's going to tell me what it hit, right? So back to here, for instance, let's say my mouse cursor is right here, right? And I click. What it's doing is I'm going to draw a straight line from the mouse cursor through the world, and it's not going to hit anything, right? Now the angle is dependent upon the screen, not upon the world. So like let's say I have, I'll go back to here. This is nice and easy because the doors are straight on with the mouse cursor, right? So what we're going to do is this nice and clean. So wherever the mouse cursor is, we want it to detect when it hits something, right? Okay.
She just hit the doorstop.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Oh, I just had like a childhood flashback. So anyway, what we want to do to make this work, and this is one of the things in Uscript that works, is generally if it's a Uscript node, this is a node, right? These things. Then it has kind of like a loose description of what all the little outputs are, right? So it's like camera, the camera object to cast the ray from. So, you know, like I said it was from the screen, but it's basically from the camera. So what we're going to do is say it's main camera, and I am going to show you a little Mac trick, because I could take this Unity script window and put it in as a tab, right? And go back and forth, but I like to have the real estate. Like, I wish I had a second monitor. I would put it on a second monitor.
For sure,
right?
Yeah.
But I use...
Would that be ideal, to have this on a second monitor, or the scripting on a second monitor?
I would love to have it on a second monitor, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have the desk space for it currently, and you know, like, it's just, whatever. One day, it's a luxury, all right? You don't absolutely need it. So, which is another example of how you can make Unity work for you, right? Like, you don't have to load stuff into, like if I had it in this tiny tab over here next to console or over here, I'd always be fiddling with my layout. So this way I can go back and forth. So I keep my windows so I can do this one click across, but there's another way to do it. Let's say I go full screen as I go to mission control, right?
Yeah.
And I sort of keep it in the background. In fact, while I'm at it, I'm going to kill the asset store so that I'm not spending the whatever.
I usually do the Apple tab.
Yeah, Apple tab works, but like sometimes I have to scroll through all the random other stuff, right?
Usually you go, yeah, totally. I mean, if you start going between the two, then
except that this is not a separate program. It's actually still considered Unity, right? So you have to do a window switch. So for me, it's just it's faster for me to do this. But however, I'm going to show you another trick with this. Here's main camera, and left click and hold, right? Now I can get it so I can drag this main camera thing around, right? Now, this is important because over here in Inspector, sometimes you have a reason to drag stuff into the Inspector to say, like, this is the thing, right? So, like, when we go to Uscript here, right? So, remember, I did this by menu. I clicked this circle button, and I checked them out. I could actually do this with, let's say, door 3, replace door 1, over door 3. It's a click and drag operation. Right, but that wasn't visually super clear, which is why I didn't do it, right? But just so you know, you can do that. Like, it's a little bit intermediate mode, right? Now I'm going to take the main camera, right, and drag it down to mission control. Wait till it pops twice. Come back up. It pops twice. Add. Place variable. Camera. And that's that camera, right?
So
now
this is how it's going to base your Raycast?
From this camera, yeah. So if I had Uscript in the same window, I could have just dragged it in there.
Right.
But I've got a kind of a way of working here, so. Door stops are great. Okay, I'll get to some door stops, guys. So distance, this distance is in Unity units. Down here, you see there's open checkboxes that haven't been done. Okay. Let's see here. So, but always look for these other options, because sometimes when you add an action in here, you're like, oh, it doesn't have what I want. Well, sometimes what you want is down here, right? Like I could loop this, call it true, and then go back, and then the door would just spin, right? But it would stop every 45 degrees. Anyway, let's turn that off so that it's not foobar. Okay, distance. So what game object? Here is a thing to look at. Notice that the node outputs and inputs here, there's circles and triangles, right? These downward facing triangles mean that it's an output, right? So let's add, notice that it's purple, that's a game object. Add variable, game object. No definition. I'm not going to define this at all, right? So hit game object. It's assigning this variable what it hit, right? Now, let's do this. Instead of change color door, let's delete this, and let's say that we want to rotate whatever you hit. So obstructed, not obstructed. Actually, sorry, hold on. Let's do this. When it hits something, or in other words, the Raycast is obstructed, tell it to rotate. All right. So whatever it hits.
So Vince asked, clicking the 3D world shoots a line into the world or something, right? He's asking about the Raycast, I believe.
Yes, that is correct. So when I click, Raycast from mouse cursor, when I click, and I'll read this out to you how it's supposed to go. On click of mouse 0. So when mouse 0 is clicked, that's what these two nodes mean. Raycast from where the mouse cursor is, using this camera. This camera shoots a line into the world 100 units. Did it hit any game objects? If it hits a game object, assign it to this variable, right? When this variable gets hit, tell that object to rotate.
But that game object needs to be door 1, 2, or 3, or
you're jumping ahead, because basically no, that's okay, because basically what I've set up is if I hit any game object, rotate it 45 degrees. Let's actually try that.
Okay, cool.
Right, because that's the power of these variables, right? Is you can do a lot without a lot of very specific code. Although this is going to get messy pretty quick, so we're going to get to the meat of this lesson, which is going to be multiple Uscript graphs, right? This whole thing here is called a graph, but I'll show you why you would want to do. It's a little bit of a head turn, so let's see if this works. Right?
It's awesome.
Right, but also notice that when the door turns away from my cursor and I can't hit it, nothing turns. Oh, hold on, there's our problem.
Yeah, that's a game object too.
Right, so it's any game object, right? This might make me ill.
That's trippy.
Right, so anyway, so I have to come to this side for the door. Left side, right side. Okay.
Yeah, connected to it.
Watch this. When I turn play off, back to normal. Right, so I play it again, it all resets. We're going to learn how to control that later. Okay, so what I want to say is, I need to only turn the doors, right? So instead of going straight to rotate, let's see if there's something like an if or a filter statement. So conditions, right? Comparisons. Let me see. How would I actually do this one? I'm going to try and go to the fastest, which is compare game object, and we're going to ditch. You can, by the way, you can do multiple lines. If this game object, right, is obstructed, we're going to go here. We're going to check if this game object is correct. If it's the same game object, and I'll show you how this works. Right? We're gonna do a variable. Actually, do we still have one? Okay, I'm gonna say, let's go here. I want to just try door 1. We know door 1 is still in the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drag it down to here. Take my door back up. I want to place a game object variable, right? So when the mouse click is door 1, so right, so it's a little bit like, as far as English goes, this is going to be a little bit backwards, right? When I click the mouse, I raycast from the mouse cursor, from the main camera, at the mouse cursor location, right, straight through. What object did it hit? It hit this object. Is that object door 1? If it's the same as door 1, then rotate the game object that was hit, right? Or I could do it this, or I could do it this way. And this might be a little cleaner. If it's door 1, then rotate door 1.
Right.
Okay, I changed the sentence a little bit. Hit location. I'm going to turn that off because it's cleaner for me to not see shit like that. It also makes the node smaller, so I can get more on screen. Right. So like I turn off and on unnecessary bits all the time. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so this should only work, thank you, when I click door 1. All right, let's test this. Let's test the clicking door 1. No. Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay. So clicking door 1 spins it. What about clicking door 3 and door 2? Nothing. Not spinning the world. Okay, we're in good shape.
Can you click the floor?
No, the floor did not click. I breezed through it. I gave it the.
No, yeah, definitely.
I gave it the old StarCraft, 600 clicks per second. Okay, and I just kind of went right over it and set my Zergling sideways. Anyway, so doing this, we can try one thing. Maybe I can do. I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm going to paste it. Right. This is potentially error prone. Anytime you copy and paste stuff in Uscript, it's kind of, it can be potentially. Okay, this is not going to work. See how it's not allowing me to do a multiple game object comparison?
Is it because it's the same object?
No, it's just this node says, no, I only like one variable there, right? Some of these will allow you to hit 2 variables, like that one, right? I can assign 2 different variables. There might be a reason for that, but, So what I need to do to get each of the doors to detect their own click is to make this, like, duplicate this part of the code 2 more times, right? So there's one way to do it, which is take all of this, right? Copy, paste.
Yeah.
Right? And I'll do that again. Sorry, I did Control V. Just so you know. But you can see this is going to get really sort of big and unreadable soon, right? Let's look at the whole shape. Right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit easier for me since I'm a symmetrical brain kind of a guy. Okay. So there's my main input on the left. It comes in. It splits into 3. Right?
Right.
Okay. Actually, I might not get to the split piece yet. So there's door 1. They're all door 1 though, right? So now I need to change these to be door 2. Sorry, I'll keep my visual order. Door 2 in the middle, door 3 at the bottom. Okay, let's compile that and see. Okay. Fance panties. Vince, you're gonna have to tell me what that name means at some point, and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what Jim Tarver means too. I suspect mine is a lot cleaner. All right, that should work. Let's see how this goes. Come Come on. Okay. Oh, okay, I get door 1. Door 2 and door 3 aren't working. Okay, so I've seen this every once in a while. When you copy and paste, sometimes a variable gets kind of foobar. So after when it compiles, it's still holding on to residual. Like I think it's not cleaning out correctly. Like I think it's a bug, right? So what I'm gonna do instead of doing that is I'm gonna delete this variable. Can almost guarantee and drag this one in this way, right? Oh, actually, I take that back. Now that I'm looking at my nodes, do you notice anything? There's something wrong here.
AB?
AB, that is correct. And I deleted that note so it's gone. So I forgot to hook up everything after I pasted it.
I could see where this starts getting spaghettied.
Yeah, so I'm going to teach you, we're going to jump ahead. So there's 2 places we could go from here. One, and I'll show you this once I test this.
So this should technically work, right? I mean, we've got everything hooked up to...
Everything's got its own path, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. So let's turn these doors around so we can see the colors again. Okay. So each door takes its own click input. See, I'm StarCrafting the shit out of the floor. Nothing in the world. Okay. Now, let me turn this back off. We've still got a long ways to go on our doors, actually. But one of the ways to make this a little bit cleaner, and I teach you that there's 2 or 3 sort of important concepts here. And I like the most important thing for you as a where's the, oh, this is your troll account. Okay.
Vance thinks it's better than looking at code.
Yeah.
I don't think it looks that messy. I think it really outlines exactly what what is happening.
Yes.
What the logic is, or what is that the right terminology?
That is. So the only thing is, though, since this is our main interaction, there's a few things that are missing from this. And in fact, let's go to Keynote for just 1 second. Right? And we never worked through actually, I'm not going to do it in Keynote. I'm going to do it in Unity. Let's do this. My doors are starting to get a little messy. That's not how I envisioned the game to work. I envision the game to work as I click a door and then we move to the next set of 3 doors, right? Mm-hmm. When that happens, now that I have like a road split here, I'm basically either going to have to bring all the roads back into one node. Here, let me just add a random node, right? Like this, right? Or end up duplicating 3 times the work, right? So, yeah. So all of a sudden what I've done is like, okay, I either need to duplicate my work 3 times after each one of these, go to another script to handle different things, or like basically we were kind of at a crossroads and I can kind of see the future coming, which is potentially a lot of mess, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is this instead is we're going to create a new Uscript, save file, yes. It is kind of like looking at a script. I tend to visually, like I'm able to edit and adjust and do things faster this way, Josh, than writing in code. It has its advantages. Anyway, so we now have a new Uscript file. So one thing you'll notice is like down here in my project graphs, I don't have a new graph here, right? And there's nothing on this. However, I'm going to hit save right now so that I can name this graph door. Let's call it door. Let's just call it door.uscript. Okay, and we'll save that. Assign. This is really important. Assign graph to the master game object. This time you want to click no. Okay. Okay. So it's not assigned to the scene. We've already got one that does that, right? And I'm going to show you something very neat. Okay, so add an event. Now, what you have to consider is like I'm going to attach this script to the door, right? So the door can just worry about itself, right? So now what we can do is on event, input event, let's do mouse cursor event again. No, you know what? We're gonna end up doing this as a touch project, so I won't get too fancy. Input event. We'll take any input event, right? And then we'll do add action, events, filters, input event filter, right? And I'll show you a little trick we can do. We can do it from here. Go back and do mouse 0. But let's say for some reason I want to do, let's see, key code. The key code variable will not show up here. It might show up in reflected variables, and go to Unity, and in fact it will, right? But I'm showing you a couple of different things because the key code variable is a Unity variable, not a Uscript variable. So what I'm gonna do is see how I use the search box over here?
Yeah, it's very helpful.
So I use the search box. I think what I want is this variable, right? Because they're categorized variables. This one, conditions. Those are actions. I don't want an action. I want a variable. Reflected. I don't want a condition, right? Compare key codes. I can't do that yet until I actually tell it which one I want. Key code. Drop this one here. Door pressed. Value. We'll just call it mouse click. Oh, well, actually, let's call it this key code click key. We'll call this mouse. It should be in here in this drop down. Okay, joystick, mouse. There we go. Mouse 0. Expose this to Unity. So what I've done is I can change what button is going to spin the doors. Right?
Okay.
I show you something neat with it when we get into it again. So what did we do last time? On mouse click, then what did we do? We said we wanted to know that it hit a door, right? So action, physics, Raycast from mouse cursor, right? When this input is down, whatever this input is, choose the main camera. Actually, I'll do it this way so you can see that, since it's not obscured. I'll place this camera, right? 100 units is fine. Hit game object, add variable, game object, drop this down, do this, kill the hit location. Okay, now we're going to do back to conditions, right? Comparison, check between game objects. So we're going to compare game objects. It's obstructed. I'm going to show you a super important variable. Okay, let's see. So compare whatever the mouse hits anywhere in the world. I haven't determined or specified yet, right? When the mouse Raycast hits anything, let's compare it. Now, this script is assigned to the door, so it'd be nice if we could say, well, what about if it hit me, right? As opposed to specifying, did you hit door 1, did you hit door 2, did you hit door 3, right? Because if I did that, I would have to do a door 1 script, a door 2 script, a door 3 script.
Right.
Right? And then assign them to each individual door. So add variable owner game object.
Cool.
Right? That means when a mouse click, Raycast, what game object did you hit? Did you hit me?
So that's when you attach this to a specific door. Me is the door in this instance, right?
Correct. So the owner of this script. So if I attach this script, this is actually currently, this is generic. It doesn't even have to be the door. If I attach this script to any object in the world, that object will do whatever's next. Right?
Great.
So what did we do last time? Action, game object, movement.
Rotate?
Rotate, yes. Let's do, where was it? Oh, there we go. Thank you. When they're the same, right? Rotate the target, which is still me, and I'm just going to do this the fast way right now instead of
Sure.
being able to. Let's go ahead and do like 70 degrees around the y-axis in 0.25 seconds. We are not going to loop it, and we are good to go. That should work. Let's compile this.
And now you have to attach that script to each individual door, right? But that one script can be attributed to each of those doors.
That's correct, right? So,
that's great.
I can also do, let's do this, just for the sake of example. So now these doors, just to show you that it doesn't work, nothing's going on, right? Oh, wait. Mm-hmm. Oh, because
the old script's still in there.
The old script is still working. So this is it. Even though your brain is there, right? Like, what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to delete all of that code. I'm just going to unhook the link, right? I may decide to come back and do it this way. Do you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm just going to kill the link, right, until I make the decision. I'm being a little wishy-washy. Let's do that. Compile it again. Okay, let's go back to the door script. Door script is fine. Let's go to door 1. We could, at the bottom of every game object is a button that says add component. It's the same thing as this menu. This menu and this are the same. Add component, and there's a whole list here. The thing is, my eyes are getting old. That's hard. It's kind of hard for me to read down here sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually go up here, Uscript, graph, door graph. Let's attach that. Oh, whoops, I want to ditch this thing. So now you see that my doors, sorry, I'm scrolling around too fast. See this, this component, these things are all components attached to the script, right? Let's go back and look at this anatomy. Transform, this is a thing that tracks where it is in the world. What mesh is it? Is it going to render? Yeah, it's going to render. Take shadows, untitled shadows. Okay, animator. Oh. Why do I have an animator on his? I'm going to ditch this because I don't need it. And that came with the door because I bought it off of Unity.
Because the animator is the script you're building.
No, right? No. That animator, I deleted it because that's what, for that exact reason, it's a little confusing. It came with an original animation that I'm not associating with it anymore. Right? So I'm going to remove that component because it's unnecessary. And I don't want you to get confused. Because we're animating it through script, right? Okay. Right. Then, here's my C# script. If you look next to the drop-down arrow here, right, and I'll make this an easier list to look at, each one of these has like a little icon that tells you what it is, right? So this is, okay, that's a mesh thing. This is a transform thing. Oh, C# script. There's my script. Do I have any exposed variables? Oh, the click key. No, I don't want that. I actually want to still keep it as mouse 0. Okay, let's try that. This should only affect door 1 when I hit play. All right. Let's click somewhere outside first. Verify that it doesn't go. This door, no. This door, boom. Okay, now the real test will be let's do this door. Add component, Uscript, graph. Door, and I did it from that menu this time just so you can see how it works. Script, graphs, door, play it again. Alright, okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Oh, you put it on all the doors?
Yeah, I put one on each door.
Awesome.
Right? Now,
so now they all are scripted and animated through the script individually.
Correct. So each door has its own script, and in fact, it's this script, only one script used for 3 doors. Right?
Cool.
And each door does...
It's like a very simple script, too.
It's at least super visually. Easy. Right? It's super easy. It allows me to go back to this one and delete this spaghetti.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know... I no
you're
longer...
saying the same thing, but this is for, again, overall...
Right. And in fact, let me sort of do it this way, just so I can show it visually. Right? Let's okay. I have taken out essentially done this, right? There's one, right? If I duplicated this, I would have 2, 3, and they would be each be running separately, right?
Right.
So I've taken, what is it? It'll tell me 49 nodes, right, with 41 links, and turned it into. Actually, I am going to delete that. Hold on. Yes, save it. Turned it into 9 nodes and 10 links. Right? See how it's a graph
super streamlined now.
Right?
And the only difference there is you added, with the rotate and compare game objects nodes, you added owner.
That is correct. So that it knows what it's doing. Okay.
This makes sense. This, like it.
It's
plain English.
It's relatively clear. It's part of why I decided to teach you Uscript instead of C# first.
Yeah.
Because I can talk to you in plain English instead of doing the translation on paper first, right? That's like learning Spanish by reading Don Quixote, right? Right? Like it's like it's maybe too deep, right? We'll get to that. I have a lesson specifically in mind to show you how to not necessarily teach yourself C#, but to go to a place where you can at least read it, right?
Yeah.
Because at some point you need these scripts to interface with C# scripts, and you have to be able to at least know your way around to be able to do it. So I'm essentially, in a very nice way, teaching you how to hack. Right?
That works.
But you're going to hack your way to proficiency and eventually be, a coder. So now we've got doors doing their thing. I'm going to add a few things into this just for today. So we've got we've got about 15 minutes left, right? So let's play this and identify what's not working right for us. Okay. First of all, the doors aren't going away and we're not getting 3 more doors, right? I'm not going to do that today. That's kind of like, well, I will do, I'll get partway to the solution there, right? I'll provide the wrong solution today. So
we also need the doors to stop from spinning 360, right?
Right. We need them to stop from spinning 360. What else is missing?
Well, what's behind the door? What's
behind the door, kind of what's in the world, etc., right? So, but also we need them to give you, like, I envision this, actually, that when you click the door and it opens, that basically it looks like you whoosh through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a couple of things.
It's all camera move, right?
Yes. However, I'm not going to do it by moving the camera. So
you're going to move the objects?
You're going to move the objects. So remember I said that I was like, oh, we're going to do like 10,000 doors, right?
Yeah.
If you moved the distance between the camera and the doors 10,000 times, you would move a very long way, right?
Right.
Pretty sure Unity could handle it, but at some point, you would basically be tracking into like millions of units away from like the world center.
Right.
Right.
Like in infinity.
So I would either have to like bring it all back. I mean, at some point, just thinking about the number of your, like X distance from the center of the world, who knows how long it is, but somewhere out there, we will exceed, however many like digits it can hold, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might be trillions of units away, and we're totally fine. It might be, 17 gajillion, babillion, 19.2 gigawatts, right? It doesn't fucking matter. Somewhere out there, there's an end to it, right? And not necessarily in the conceptual, right? It's infinite, but at some point, something in the system's going to break, right? So I'm being a little bit forward-looking and going, okay, that's way too much. I'm lazy. I don't want to deal with that later. Let's do it now and get it handled, right? So instead of doing that, the camera position is going to stay here. We're going to do everything smoke and mirrors and just give the player the illusion, right?
I mean, could you technically repeat these doors, but have them the ad be behind a different door?
I mean,
and it would just be, you know what I mean? Like they would just recycle through.
Here, let's do this. In fact, this kind of brings us to the next thing. Door set 001. Actually, let's call it 001. I put underscores in because I'm kind of old school. DOS didn't take spaces.
Did you say DOS?
Shh. Okay.
CD. Yeah.
Okay, so
C colon space.
yeah. 2. Sorry, 2. Let's do Dorset. I'm hitting Command D for the sake of speed. Dorset 3. Dorset. I'm renaming them. Just if you don't rename them, they'll all be called Dorset 11111. On the back end, the system knows that it's a different set of doors, but it's not apparent to me, right?
Right.
So let's take this door set. We're gonna move it. Okay, we're gonna move it in Z. Let's just add 10 to this, right? 10 units. We're gonna take this one. 20 units, and this one. Oh, sorry. There we go. And in fact, I did this incorrectly. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, there we go. 10. Oh no, did I do it right?
31, I think, is off, right? Isn't it? Changed?
No, because the original doors started.
Oh, there you go.
At
11?
At 1 something. So door 1 is at 1.4 some shit. Blah blah blah. They look off because of perspective, but let me go. They're the same distance, right? So we can move the camera like that, but you could see at some point I'm going to get tired of duplicating doors.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll show you some shortcuts around that, because what we can do is just move the doors towards the camera. Okay. However, this is actually going to be neat. I'll open this door. I can actually hit that door back there, and this one, and this one.
Yeah.
Right?
That's kind of funhouse-ish.
Because the Raycast is going through the world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there's like a puzzle game here.
Yeah, totally.
Like how many? Open this door a little bit so I can hit the
Seventh
third door.
Guest.
Oh, totally. It's like 7th guest, like combo doors. Okay, I want to hit that green door back there. Boom. Oh, is another green door? Boom. Anyway, yeah. Like the ghosts come running out. Smoke and mirrors. Oh, Vince, you're exactly correct. We're going to move the plane and doors on a treadmill.
Is that what it is, a treadmill?
No, but I mean, it's not, it's a code treadmill.
Right.
Right? We will move them on a code treadmill towards the camera to give the
It's
player...
almost like once these doors get off camera, they're going to...
It's something, it'll be the equivalent of that. Okay,
Right.
so we've
Very
got
cool.
this going on. I'm going to show you one thing as a concept. Let's go to the inspector, go to door set 1. Let's choose door 3, right? Which is, back to our scene, just to double check, the green door. Okay, in game. Let's actually not pick door 3. Let's pick door 2. Let's turn off this door script. Oh, now it doesn't turn. You could wholesale just turn the script off at the end to make it stop turning, right? That's one way to do it, right? But having access to this checkbox is totally possible from script, but it's kind of the brute force way, right?
Right.
I wouldn't. Let's
finesse it.
Let's finesse it a little bit, because I want to teach you a little bit more about variables, right? Controlling your variables is kind of one. Oh wow, this is actually kind of entrancing. Look,
It's actually cool.
I got a little stuck in there.
Maybe that's when you get all the doors we see.
Yeah, right. Combo doors.
Destroyed me.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. We want to... I am going to show you add the comment box, okay? So before starting to write like a paper, right, you typically write an outline, right? We could do this in Keynote, but I wanted to show you the comment box so that you could see one thing that you can do is drop the comment box behind stuff, right? So I could say, you know how I was speaking plain English as I read through the notes, right? You can drop these notes in for yourself. Let's see, comment. Do this one. body, when the mouse is clicked, right, and then I'll duplicate it. Whoops. All right, hold on. Right, see what I'm saying? And you can comment this all the way through so that if you come back to the project in a year, you'll be able to read it, right?
Totally.
Or when you save it and Dropbox it to me, I'll be able to read it, right? But we can assume that I can read probably the first 6, right? However, this is also another way to do, oops, I centered up. It's not the best text editor, so I don't do this very often, right? Here are the things that we want them to do. Doors, delete themselves. Josh will recognize this because I told him to do this in his C# scripts. If we were doing C#, I would tell you to do the exact same thing. Write your outline in the script first as comments, and then we'll fill it out, right? Here's all the actions we want them to do, right? Doors, animate towards the camera. Doors, stop rotating on every click. Doors, delete themselves. And at some point we want new doors behind the old doors. And we also want to do scoring, right? This might not all make it into this script. This might actually happen in the bigger script. And in fact, this comment is probably more appropriate to whatever I'm doing in the other one, right? So I'm going to drop this up here. Let's do the ones that are easy right now. So animate towards the camera, add, actions, game object, movement. Let's just call it
position.
There's that, or there's also set position. But set position, the difference between move and set. Set position is it will instantly move to that spot. In this case, right?
We want to move it.
Right. Well, but there's a way to use set position. If we do something like set its position every frame, and then it'll look like it's moving, right?
Okay.
But move will just do, let's just do move to location after it rotates. Actually, that's not true. It will rotate and send the signal almost instantly to the next one, right? So they will happen basically, as far as you're concerned, simultaneously. Yep, Josh seconds my, he agrees. It really helps to write it out first. It really does, honestly. Like, it seems like a pain in the ass, but it really helps. Okay, so we're not going to use this as an offset right now. Let's call this end location. What's the camera at? 0, 1, minus 10. Let's just put that in right now so that we can see, so that I've got it written down. 0, 1, minus 10. So we want it to move 10 more. We'll move the whole door set, right? Let's call it 2 minus 11. That'll get us past the door. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna copy this variable. Here. Let's do this. See this end location? It's a yellow dot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yellow dot is a different type of variable. It's that is a vector 3. We'll get into some vector math stuff later. But I would do this. Watch this. That sort of split code there, right? Mm-hmm. Where I'm just using one variable, but it starts to get really messy to read. So it's okay to just duplicate it.
Oh, okay.
Right. And then transition time. Let's call it. Oh wait, I went full screen here. Hold on. Sorry. Let's go let's call that also, let's call it 0.2 seconds. It's going to be fast, right? I don't really need this to be a great animation. Okay, so it's going to move to location. Now let's do delete themselves. Actually, let's not do that. Let's test this. There are some problems. When something tells itself to delete, you can sometimes get into problems because you get into like the whole time travel paradox of like, but what if it doesn't exist? Right? So like you have to be very careful when you tell something to delete itself. But we'll do that. Let's do this. Oh, I made a mistake. However, we're going to see it.
And the blue door disappeared. Oh, it's all on the same axis now.
Yeah, watch this.
All of them bring to the same axis, huh?
Yeah, they all went to the same location, right?
Again, this would be cool for the animation.
Yeah.
Happy mistakes.
Oh my god, it's kind of awesome. Okay, anyway, not the result we wanted, right? So basically, I told them to go to a fixed location in the world, which is 0, 0, 0, and I didn't expose this in Unity. I made a couple of different mistakes here, right? One, I'm assuming every door is going to move, and in fact, making it the owner is not correct, right? I want to do... I'm tripping out on these doors right now. Yeah. So let's do this. In fact, there's a couple of different things, a couple of different mistakes I think I made right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave those doors in there because they're fun to play with. What I want to do is move the whole set, correct? Right? But also, I forgot to put in what location I wanted them to go to, right? Let's do, let's see. You know what? I'm going to expose this so I can copy and paste the variables from the other side. Door off. We're going to start using stage terms. Off stage position. Okay, exposed to Unity. I make these names very descriptive so that when I compile and I come back to doing it, let's see. Looking at it in here, I can read it very clearly, right? Okay, so this is compiling. Let's go to... this is actually going to neat with a couple of my mistakes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. Okay. Fun times! Okay. Because I think we're going to get to some cool, trippy shit. Okay. Yeah, Josh, this is the other thing that you don't get from writing it in C# is you don't get necessarily as many happy accidents as I just got because you're messing with the concepts, not with the direct code, right? So to make that happen in C# bare would have actually been a pretty significant block to do. Well, not it would have been almost the same block, but conceiving of it, you would have had to preconceive it in your brain. Anyway. Let's go to my door now, right? Let's double check this script. Okay, door off stage position. Let's pick, let's go find the camera. Right? So, actually, let's go find the first door because I really only wanted to move minus 10 degrees on Z from its current position. There's a way to do this in script. We'll do that next week because we're at our hour. But we're going to move this whole thing to... I'm going to make this rough. Let's call it 1.3.11.5. Okay? And then we'll do 11.5. 1, 3. I've left us plenty of stuff to fix next week, by the way. Okay, and actually... here's another case. I've run into another branch. Actually, it's a minus 11, where I'm going to have to define these variables 3 times. 5 minus, which is not that big a deal. You can put those defaults in; it'll apply to every door. But I'm doing a couple things wrong here, which is I'm moving a different object from the script that I'm applying to that door, right? Not actually wrong. There's about 100 ways to skin this cat. However, it can get sloppy, right? And case in point, okay, we're ready to go. Click nowhere but the doors. Nothing happens. Click this door. Boom, they're gone. Right? Now, you'll notice, though, that now when I click these other doors...
They don't have that movement on there?
They don't, but actually what they're doing is they're moving the... They're repeating the same code, right? In fact, they are moving the doors to this offset. Let's call this 10. Oh, sorry. Let's 3 so we can see it. Sorry, 5. So it's a little bit off. What was that? 1, and then let's leave it as 0. So I will click Dorset 2, 1. There they are.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, what I've done is I've made them move off screen, and then I'm going to make them move on screen, and then off screen, then off screen. Mm-hmm. Right. So there's a couple of different mistakes here. Right. I'm kind of having more fun with my mistakes than actually finishing the project. So, right? Okay. I mean, we've essentially made kind of a... We are making our 7th guest puzzle.
Totally.
Right?
It's totally. I mean, that might be something that we use at the end. Yeah, I mean, to different types of animations off screen, and
we absolutely can. And in fact, we can say like, "Oh, hey, that's not too bad. Maybe we can do stuff with the doors, right?" And in fact, I was calling into question last night in my brain: do we even need? Sorry, is it that one? Yes, it is. Do we even need the plane? Right? It
could be in limbo.
We'll have to sort of discuss that later, because the one thing that the plane does for you mentally is it gives you structure. It gives you, and it also gives you something to attach to. So
absolutely.
If you're so totally floating, it might work, but I don't think I can answer that question until I get it working on a phone, right?
So we'll get these things working first thing next week, and then everything move forward. And
absolutely. By the way, I really enjoy these things. We might, on Saturdays when you say you've got like a couple of hours, we could always extend a little bit. And that also depends on who's watching, because if we get everybody to vote that we go forward, maybe we do a vote at the end.
Next week, though, I won't be able to join. I'm going to be in Keystone doing some skiing.
Oh, you sure you don't want to Twitch from there?
I'm not sure I'm going to have computer access in the mountains.
Just take us up on the mountain with you.
I'm going to try.
Well, though, I think... okay, so next week, just so everybody knows the format, what I'll do is I'll pay way more attention to the chat. And then, hey, Josh and Vince, what you guys need to do is tell me not to type responses back to you and speak them. Give me a nudge, because I do have a tendency to respond in the format that I was asked, right? Anyway, let's. I'm gonna close out with playing with these trippy doors, man. That's pretty much it. But yeah, next week we'll fix that, and we'll do a little bit more. We're getting closer, right? I think we can finish this in like 3 more hours.
Awesome.
Right? So, I mean, if you guys think about it, like, I am not touching this 3 Doors project in between Saturdays, right? And this is a super important thing that I want you to know is, like, I've decided that not only are these games going to get published that we do here, so that you can, A, see the example, right? But B, I'm not going to put any work into these that you can't see. So even if I decide to work in this on my own, I will Twitch stream it. Right?
Awesome.
And so, like, what I want to get to is not that I am flawless and I'm teaching you everything, is I want you to see me make mistakes. Right? So, and then, because I think the important thing to get through this is that I am thinking through the problems and talking out loud. Right? Because like I said, it takes thousands of hours to get to the point where you start to author things flawlessly and to get the intention that you want with a high amount of speed. to get there, you need to be okay with making mistakes, right? And okay with crossing those hurdles and, not getting flustered or shut down. You just need to sort of like keep trying stuff. And Unity is great for that because there's a lot of like really the mental, emotional cost of making a mistake is very slight because you just go back and you hit play again, right?
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Do you have any questions, Brian? What about you guys, Josh?
I think maybe next week if I'm not here, blast through as long as you can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do that. So next Saturday, I will do a marathon session since, well, no, because then you're going to miss out on the finish of this. Do you want me to switch games?
No, I think you should continue this. But, if you just stick to an hour, maybe do stick to an hour, and then we'll do a marathon the following week.
Okay, we'll do a review the following week so I can get you up to speed. I'll do an hour next week, and then hey, Josh and Vince, if you guys have the time next week, what I'll do is I'll switch games from Three Doors at the end of the hour. Start whatever our second project is going to be. It might be Dumpster Baby. So like I got a concept earlier this week about baby.
Sounds pretty bad.
Basically, a baby in a dumpster infinite runner.
Okay.
But it's got to be super happy. It's a little advanced because it's going to involve like a 3D mesh like character animation. But I might start doing my research on Twitch so that you can see how I'm like. We won't get to that for like weeks, but
Cool.
Yeah. See, Josh likes Dumpster Baby. Dumpster Baby. Okay. All right, guys. I am going to. Wow, these emoticons are pretty. Oh, wow. Is that like a Bruce Lee head? Okay, guys. I am signing off. Yep. So I'll see everybody next week. I don't know. Josh, Vince, anything? Any last minute questions? Shoot them on over before I shut down. Shut it down. Nope.
Thanks for saying bye. Okay, later.
Okay, laters. Oh, so I haven't committed to Uscript yet. Have used Playmaker at all? I have not, but I will go into. I think what we'll do is in either the next game or the game after this, we'll do a project that's just Playmaker based, so that I can see the differences. And I haven't played with it, so I will actually be learning at the same time. So we'll stumble through it. But one thing that's interesting, Vince, is you can go to. Let's do a new window. If you go to detoxstudios.com, right, and they have these are the guys that make Uscript. They have a student version that I think you can get for free.
There.
Anyway, browse around on this site or go into the forums because I think there's a way to get a free trial version that you can fiddle around with. But I'm going to move over to Playmaker next whatever the next project is. All right, Vince? And if you have questions, just stop me during the week.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna move to chat instead of actually, Brian, you can log off if you want. Just hang up. I'm gonna handle this with Vince.
Take it easy, y'all.
So no, it's just an evaluation copy. So there should be. Let's go back to this. I'll find it for you, Vince. Let's go to it. Join the community. I will do. I think it logged me in. Forum. Search. Hey, folks, I know how to make free because I was actively sharing my. Nope, not that one. Evaluation. Oh, I wonder. Let's see. Let's go back. What is this? Let's go purchase Uscript. Please read blah blah blah. Add to cart. You know, there was a recent version. Maybe scrub the forums for like a GitHub or like a Git project where like there's like an evaluation version. I think it's totally worthwhile, but you know, up to you. All right. So I am signing off. If you guys have any questions, I will answer them this week. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.